was a good song too.
What did you say?
He said that one was a good
song too.
This is your jam, huh? Abrar ul Haq.
Good singer.
Okay.
It's like sad boy music.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about how he loves this woman like no one else can.
Something we can all relate to.
Yeah. And yet she's not throwing work back his way. I don't think I've ever been to Queens.
Me neither.
Well, you've never really been to New York. You've been to New York like what? This is your third time?
It's always for work, and it's always in and out real quick.
Yeah. Queens is mad far. Yeah, it is.
It is. We've been in the car for a minute.
Check out King of Falafel on Broadway. Wait, is that the Palestinian-owned restaurant that gets like harassed? I want to go to that one restaurant that like in order to get in, you have to step on the Israeli flag. It's awesome. Chat, which one is it? You know what I'm talking about? Or I think it's like Benjamin Netanyahu's face.
Alex, have you been to Lava Shawarma near
Oh, that's the King of Falafel, okay.
4th, like the park?
No.
Near Washington Park. You should go there. That's
I'm gonna go incognito
it's another,
cam.
like one of those places where like it's just decked out.
Sorry,
with, like,
chat, you're getting
Palestine
chest
flags.
cam so we can
No, I haven't been.
They have
stay incognito.
a burger. They have a Wagyu burger. You wouldn't think to get that there. It is one of the best burgers I've ever had in my entire life.
What's it called?
Lava Shawarma.
Incognito, not for long. Okay, it is King of Falafel on Broadway, the one where you step on the Israeli flag and Benjamin Netanyahu's face to get the falafels. It's owned by a Palestinian guy. He gets harassed all the time.
This is perfect. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir. Thank you for sharing your music with us.
Thank you.
Oh. What a ride.
Hello,
What
hello.
a
We are
journey.
live right now. Just a heads up.
I'm Andrew.
I'm March. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have I been talking to you?
Yes, you
I've
have.
been calling you Mauricio.
Oh, I mean that's my real name, but yeah.
My name's Andrew.
Hi, hello, hi.
Great to meet you. Thanks for coming
Just
through.
wanted to let you know we are live right now. Heads up. But, hi, I'm March.
Hello. What's happening? Hassan.
I'm Ali. What's up, buddy?
Hassan, nice to meet you.
You're live on that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're live already.
Can you?
We're early. We wanted to.
Time to set this up in 10 minutes flat and have production Andy's yelling at me in chat. Can we get this table right here so I can
Yeah.
You want to prop the
Are you
camera on it?
filming this way or that way?
this way?
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I don't want to film it to
Is
the
it
left.
better to film inside or?
I mean, we'll be blown out if we film this way.
Oh,
It's
true.
not too bad, but it's, yeah, I think we set up to be either way. So
Yeah, and I think this is an interesting enough backdrop that's
yeah,
fine.
we're bouncing on the ceiling. It's like a soft failure.
Yeah. This is perfect. And then just as far back over here as possible. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Great.
Just the
Very
lighting and stuff.
eventful.
Please
Yeah.
hold chat.
A lot
Oh, no,
going
no.
on.
You can
No.
keep them up there.
Yeah. He's just
Yeah.
using that just as a profit.
It's just a tripod, yeah.
I've got a tabletop background.
It's okay. This should be fine.
Marsh, they're calling you a Chad in the chat.
Yep, I know. All while holding 30K people. Hey, look at me, chat.
Lucky t-shirt. Oh, thank you, yeah.
You want to take a seat, Hassan?
I was there too, actually.
Yankees or Mets fan?
Mets fan. Nice.
It's better around here.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of odd man out here.
You know these gonna be weird side by side like this?
You mean like side profile?
Yeah.
I mean, you could just kind of angle inward a bit. Like angle the seats inward a bit.
No, it's not hard. It's just like, it's hard to
I don't get a lot of sympathy.
Yeah, go for it.
No, wait, hold on.
I'm at the seat,
Wait,
like
let me-
the seats.
I'll do it. One
I think
second.
it'll actually be fine though. I think it looks good.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean I haven't even finished
Let me
it yet.
see. Like, what if? Like that, right?
Yeah,
That's what you were thinking?
yeah. And you'll kind of speak inward,
It's a little bit
and then
better.
I can punch in a bit too.
Yeah. Alex, can you sit there for a second?
And then I'll crop in one sec. Yeah, I think this is great. What do you think? What do you think?
Perfect.
Yeah,
No, I think this is perfect.
yeah.
All right.
And time, what was that, 3 minutes?
Yeah. You were like, oh, we got to come in early.
We could have gone to the arcade.
We could have gone to the arcade.
Yeah, we really could have. Marsh cooked it.
Okay, then I'll mic him up when he gets here. And yeah.
5 minutes.
Camera in the reflection, haha.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's a mirror behind us.
Oh no.
I know.
That's what I was wondering. It was kind of like
It's fine.
either way.
Oh, looks good.
It's okay. I'll get a tweet about it tomorrow.
Can I pass you one of our mics as well while we're at it?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We just show like little BTS videos.
Same.
Yeah, okay.
The little dot sign on the outside. This guy.
Oh, is it on?
Yeah, it's on. We're not recording, but it's on.
Okay, I pressed it once, though.
Oh, let me see it.
It might be off now.
No, it's still good. That was just the noise canceling button.
Okay.
It's good.
All right.
And then when he gets here, I'll throw the one that
This
I have
is the
on.
part. This is the microphone, right? The small one is.
Yeah, the small one is.
Okay.
It's like the cousin of that mic, actually.
Is it better?
It's like just different.
But is it better?
I don't know. I'm still comparing them. I
Okay.
like that one too. That one's
Okay.
good. It's like it's.
Easy, but I mean, I don't know.
I'm not.
I feel like I'm on set. This is the most work I've done this year. I'm on a set.
Hasan, don't tank this campaign, please.
Oh, are
Calm
you?
down.
Do you work here? Oh, sorry. I was in a rush. I'm March. What was your name again?
Meet you, Ali.
Nice to meet you, Ali. Thank you for letting us use
Where are you
this
from,
space.
Ali? Are you from Afghanistan? Here, sit down. Let's interview you first.
But don't say what place this is until the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Block the logo.
What's up? Oh no, I got
What
it.
kind of
Oh, sure. Yeah.
what kind of stuff do you guys serve here
We
when it's
got,
open?
we got homemade pastries.
Uh
We got sandwiches that we put on our homemade bread.
huh.
Coffee, cappuccinos, lattes, the whole thing.
What? Do you still have any pastries left? Or?
I actually got pastries for you. I got
Oh,
you
you
actually
do?
right here.
Wait, I'll wait for Zoran.
Yeah. All right. You want me to wait?
I'll
Got you.
wait for him. I'll wait for him. Since it's like a okay, that's cool.
Yeah. He pulls up all the time. He loves our pink tea. But also, I got cold brew for you guys if you want.
Oh hell yeah! I
Yeah.
would love that.
Yeah. I got a bunch of cold brew.
I can have one right
You
now.
want right now?
That I can
How do you
drink
take
right
it?
now. Just straight regular
Just
cold.
black.
brew.
Gotcha.
Too.
Yeah.
Great, yeah, thank you.
Cold brew.
Damn, we're making Ali work right now.
I'll get through. No, I got you. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
still
here.
talking. You
No, do whatever you want to do.
no. Let him keep the microphone while he's chilling. I'm
You get
gonna
me breathing really heavily.
while he's working. I'm gonna ask him questions. Okay, so are the pastries Afghan pastries?
So our Firni donut is inspired by
How
like
do you
Afghan
say
custard.
it? Is it
Firni.
Firni?
Yeah.
Firni?
Yep.
You're not Americanizing it? That's how you say it?
Yeah, Firni. Yeah.
Oh, Firni. Okay. That's cool. Jalapeno cheddar tart.
Halal beef bacon. Everything here is halal.
Oh,
you want a
nice.
lid or you want it like that?
No, it's fine.
Gotcha. How do you take your cold brew,
Do you guys want?
Donald? Just black?
Do you want anything in your cold brew?
Oh, no.
Just black?
Just black.
That's so easy. I got you. There.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You can't be taking coffee.
I was at this. I spoke at this.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, yesterday.
Oh, I actually didn't even see the date on there, so I gotta pick that up.
Yeah, we were. That's why I'm here. Like I originally came out.
Oh, for that.
To DC.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, I have these. I have red ones.
It's good
sick.
coffee.
More
good
red
cold
ones.
Lid, or you just want it like that?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hassan
So much.
dressed like
Donald, I
Steve
got
from
yours too.
Minecraft.
Do you want
What
a
even
Do you want a
mean?
lid as well?
Oh, no.
No. And then you guys can help yourselves to the Liquid Death or the Something and Nothing. Those are really good too.
You are way too kind.
Got you. No worries.
I'll help myself. What? Where? Oh, that's funny. Chat, it's an old lady walking by. Due to the rising egg prices, we unfortunately had to add $2 onto every egg product.
We had
Trump's
to,
America.
dude, $2. Hate to have done it, but they're going down now.
Yeah, Trump's keeping his campaign promise of bringing egg prices down.
And he didn't do it. No surprise there.
Are you worried? Are you worried about? You can sit down.
Yeah, I'll come through.
All right. Are you worried about? Are you worried about the tariffs?
Yeah, I
business
mean, I
owner?
think everyone is, but let's see what it does. But you know,
How long you own this place?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
What did you do before that?
I studied theater.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Very random. But my pops is a restaurant down the block from here.
Uh huh.
So if you guys
He
want
also
some,
makes Afghan food.
yeah, it's Afghan food.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What? I don't know if I've ever had specifically Afghan food. What's different? I'm Turkish.
Yeah, I was just in Turkey actually, like in
really?
October. Yeah, it's
Oh.
cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's awesome.
What is so you know Turkish food? What are the similarities? What are the differences?
It's similar. I think it's like, how would I explain it? Like, we definitely have a little. You just have to have it. You just gotta try it.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
bring some kebabs over for you guys,
right.
and then you tell me what the difference is.
Okay, I will.
You'll like it.
What is I mean, it's got. I mean, a lot of the food is similar. Like that's why I go to like Lebanese restaurants, and it's
Okay.
like usually the same stuff. You know.
I would say it's a little bit heavier season.
Ah,
There's more seasoning.
okay, that's good. That's not bad.
But yeah, no, it's good. You'll try it. Our national dish is the Uzbeki kabli palau, which is like a stewed lamb shank. The rice is cooked in the lamb gravy.
Guys,
Okay. So yeah, no, I'll bring that over for you. Zohran loves my dad's restaurant. His mom and him love my dad's place.
hell yeah.
So yeah,
How long has he had the restaurant?
like 8 years.
Okay.
So
What did he do before that?
he did a bunch of things, but when I was a kid, he was a yellow cab driver, and then he also had a coffee cart in the city. So he
Oh,
sold
wow.
like coffee and bagels and stuff like that. So kind of full circle.
Little roll.
On a roll, exactly. Everything was like 75 cents, and
That's the best.
yeah.
See, that's another thing, March, that you haven't had yet. You gotta have a. Well, I mean, I don't know. Was he doing halal only or no?
Everything
Yeah.
here is halal.
No. I'm saying when he had the coffee cart.
Yeah, everything was halal.
Oh, okay.
Everything was
There's
halal.
you gotta get a pork roll, egg and cheese, or a Taylor ham, egg and cheese
Yeah.
on a roll.
I wanted that this morning, and Lolo did not do that for me at all.
Yeah.
That's
that
my
is
kid
weird.
brother. He was excited to meet you. He didn't believe me that you were coming today.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just.
No, it's fine. You can come inside.
You can come inside and sit. Give me a second. Let me have.
Okay, I was worried. I thought it was a stream sniper at first.
No, he's
I was
not.
like,
What's up? You could tell him. You could sit over here. This is my little baby.
what's going on, man?
They're live streaming right now, so just. Sick shirt, by the way. I got him that.
Inauguration?
George
Oh,
Bush.
the Bush inauguration? That's amazing.
I got
Oh
that
my
shirt on
God.
eBay, and then I gave it to him. So.
That's an amazing shirt. Yo,
Yeah.
you want to show the shirt to the camera?
Yeah.
That's sick. That's exactly the type of shit I would wear.
Yeah. I got it on eBay, and then I was gonna get rid of it,
What do you mean? That's a
but
classic.
then he wanted it,
He's
so
awesome. He's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
wearing it ironically.
Yeah, vindicated. He's the best. Yeah. That's, I have one like that with Obama. I have an Obama one
Sick.
where it's like, it's a unsanctioned, unauthorized campaign merch, like straight up from 2008, and it's like
Okay.
08 Barack Obama, and in the back it says "Black man running, but it ain't from the cops,"
Wow.
which, you know, is It's his campaign
Yeah.
shirt. You know?
He did it.
It's like $2 away.
Sick. I'll start setting up the. I guess I'll put the donuts out for you guys. If you guys want
Hell
some.
yeah.
No, you got some. Wait.
Oh yeah, in the front it says "Stop the drama, vote Obama." It's awesome. What's the coffee shop? We're not telling you where we are. Okay, stop asking and don't come here. It's fucking ridiculous.
What's up, dude?
This is my first time in Astoria, first time in Queens.
First time in Queens?
Yeah, I've never been to Queens before.
No
only.
way.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's very nice.
it's the best place.
It's actually super chill.
It's very chill.
I get why the other boroughs constantly have to defend themselves tooth and nail, have to fight for it. They don't get a lot of play due to Manhattan being right there, but this is awesome.
I'm gonna put the donuts.
Hasan,
over.
you've been here for 5 minutes. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm gonna move to Queens.
You should.
Okay, now let me steal the mic
Yeah, of course, grab it.
so I can.
Of course, give it on here.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we're gonna share the name of the coffee shop afterwards. Of course. Bro, we're gonna go. I'm not gonna go to King of Falafel this time, but what's up, man?
Hello, my man. How's it going?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for doing this. This is amazing.
Am I wearing this for me?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Here, just a little magnet. Just throw it on.
Sounds good. Is this good for you?
Maybe a little higher.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How's that?
Throw it on.
Yeah.
And then do this. Perfect.
Mr. Mayor.
How you doing?
How
dude?
are you? It's Mubarak.
Thanks so much for this, man. This is just awesome.
And then you just take a seat here.
Okay.
All right. Zohran.
How's it going, sir?
It's going pretty good. This is my first time in Queens, and yeah, I'm excited to be out here for the occasion. Zohran Mamdani, everybody, running for New York mayor, gonna win the New York mayoral race,
Yes, we are.
hopefully, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Zohran, you're a busy guy. You're all over the place. You had a rally earlier today.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It went well. It was a rally for a rent freeze with tenants in Sunset Park, with incredible city councilwoman Alexa Avila, Assembly Member Marcelo Matenas, and a bunch of tenants who are tired of seeing their landlords profit while their rents keep going up.
What made you want to run for mayor?
I think ultimately it was that there's a cost of living crisis in our city, and Eric Adams has used almost every opportunity to exacerbate that crisis. He has put his thumb on the scale of corporations, of landlords, and New Yorkers have been paying for it, and they've been priced out of the city that they built. We can actually change that.
That's right. Well, also, I do have to mention, you know how like when PBS does when they do a story on Facebook, they'll be like, "We're funded by Facebook." Yeah. As a Turkish person, you know, I have to say,
we're actually really worried about this interview.
yeah, as a Turkish person, I have to say, Eric Adams is our guy, okay, and he represents my interests, and I'm actually here to extract concessions from you, similar to what Eric Adams gave to the Turkish government.
Look, I'm making a pledge now that when I get a hair transplant, there's only one place I'm going.
Okay, perfect.
But I'm paying for it.
Okay.
I'm paying for it.
All right.
But I'm getting it. In
depending on what we can do with the fire code, we can make that an option.
Where we are right now is totally up to code.
I'm joking. It's a joke. Okay, so you're 33 years old.
I'm 33 years old.
Yeah, we're the same age, which is crazy because
go.
I'm a loser and you're running for mayor of New York. That's wild. That like 33-year-olds are running for mayor of New York.
Here we are.
Yeah. And you're, according to the latest polls, you're in the second place. It's ranked choice, so it's a little bit different. Do you mind explaining that process to our viewers?
Absolutely. So this is the second election for New York City mayor that has ranked choice voting. What that means is that New Yorkers get 5 options, and they put in their options, their first place choice up to their 5th place choice. And if your first place choice is eliminated, then your vote goes to your second place, and so on and so forth, until there's someone who has received more than 50% of New Yorkers' votes.
Yeah.
And last time around, Eric Adams won the race with about 7,000 votes in a city of 8.5 million people.
Yeah.
And by the final round, only 40% of New Yorkers' votes were counted because people hadn't filled out their whole ballot.
They just kind of gave up.
They're just like, I'm voting for 1, I'm voting for 2, that's enough. I mean, I've had uncles come up to me in the mosque and be like, I'm voting for you and nobody else. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're voting for me, you're voting for the rest of your ballot, and you're not ranking Andrew Cuomo.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good for people to know. So for that reason, there is it's a unique predicament. It's a ranked choice situation. Andrew Cuomo entertained running for a little bit, for quite a while, as a matter of fact. And I think the media, given his institutional backing, was teasing that alongside him. And he has a lot of name recognition. Do you feel like name recognition is one of the major hurdles you have to clear in this race?
Yeah, I also think it's a major opportunity because right now the polls are just a reflection of that recognition.
Yeah.
Love him or hate him, you know who Andrew Cuomo is. And we're in second place. Still, more than 50% of New Yorkers do not know who I am. And that means we can just keep doing the hard work of introducing ourselves. And actually, it's easier to introduce yourself to someone than convince them to feel differently about you. And that's where Andrew Cuomo has an obstacle, that everyone knows who he is, but still, with 100% name recognition, he has not surpassed 50% in support. There's more than 50% of New Yorkers who want someone else. And now it's our job to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Twitch stream, one Twitch stream at a time.
Yeah. Well, this is probably the least important part of that process, because I feel like you're doing a lot in terms of door knocking. You have a lot of people who are very excited for you, and that's a really good thing. And also, it does seem like the establishment picks in the race are kind of experiencing a bunch of fissures amongst themselves. Now, Eric Adams is choosing to run as an independent, from what I understand.
Yeah, my man's out.
Yeah. So, do you feel like that's a good move, or do you feel like that's better for your chances overall, or worse overall?
I don't think it affects our chances much. We've always said we were running against Eric Adams' second term, and Andrew Cuomo is running for that. He's running for the same vision, same donors, same corruption. Now it's just clear that he is the one messenger of that vision of a New York City where people are profiting off of others' misery. And what we are fighting for is just as clear as it was day one, that New York City people can afford.
What are some of the top line agenda items that you have first day in?
All right, here we go. First of all, no more Turkish Airlines corruption.
Okay.
No disrespect to your people.
That's a bit of a bummer, because I was a
sorry.
single issue voter.
Yeah,
I'm going to illegally vote in the race for you.
making it very clear.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now.
Do not do that. The number one thing is cost of living. The number one thing is to make the city affordable, and the number one cost in New Yorkers' life when they're thinking about that is housing. About 2.5 million New Yorkers live in rent-stabilized housing across New York City. Their rent increases are set by the mayor. This mayor has jacked their rent up 9%. I would freeze their rent for close to 2.5 million people. I would make the slowest buses in the country fast and free in our city, make them a model for this nation, and I would deliver universal childcare to New Yorkers, whether they're 6 weeks or 5 years of age. And ultimately, it's using every tool the public sector has to make this city people can afford.
Yeah. There's also, from what I understand, there's a lot of opinions on the issue of housing. You got YIMBYs on the one side, yes, in my backyarders, who consistently advocate for deregulation and dezoning, and there's some truth to that, for sure, in terms of how much of a hurdle that is for developing new housing projects. And then you have the NIMBYs on the other side, who also have some opinions on this matter. But I feel like there's one issue that I don't hear a lot of coverage on.
You're like a Hindi.
I don't know what I would be. I just want public housing.
Okay.
I want Austrian style, red Vienna. 65% of the entire city is just peppered with government housing. That's what I want. Don't know if we're going to get that. I feel like if I even say that, a real estate developer is going to drone strike me as I walk out of this.
We got 5 minutes
of this institution. Yeah, but I do think that any move in that direction is great. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's also, from what I understand, a warehousing problem here, where approximately 75,000 units that are rent-controlled units in the city are purposely being kept away from the housing market. There's a bunch of different hurdles in front of the lottery system and like how inaccessible even rent-controlled units are overall. Is there anything? Is that a real issue? Am I making this up?
No, I think, look,
Is there any way to tackle that?
Right now, the way that it works is that landlords self-report the units that they're warehousing.
Yeah.
And obviously there are limitations to the efficacy of self-reporting something that you are doing, especially when you're a landlord taking a unit off the market. I've seen estimates that start in the mid-20,000 range with units. And I think what we have to do is the city has to take a much more muscular role in gathering that information and in finding out what is the reason why units are offline and what's the actual cost of bringing them back online. Because without that data, it just becomes the discourse where a landlord will say, it's too expensive to do so, trust me. Mm-hmm. And we actually need to be able to see the stats. And to your point, we need a ton more housing in New York City. I do believe we have to build, more density around transit hubs. We have to end requirements to build parking when we build housing, upzone wealthier neighborhoods. And I also think the public sector has a role to build immediately affordable housing. Right? Last year, we opened up a wait list in New York City for people to get assistance paying their rent. Mm-hmm. In 7 days, 600,000 New Yorkers applied. And at the end of that period, 200,000.
A lot of broke boys.
A lot of broke boys and broke girls and broke uncles and aunties.
Yeah.
And at the end of that period, 200,000 won, which basically meant they got on a wait list for a program that admits 250 people a month. It's a totally broken system.
Yeah.
And so what we're saying is alongside those zoning reforms, we're going to build 200,000 truly affordable union-built, rent-stabilized homes that will cater to a median household income of that of New Yorkers, $72,000 for a family of four.
Yeah. There's obviously the issue of public-private partnership when we have this conversation to begin with, but I don't know what the limitations are as far as the New York mayor, the mayoral position in terms of maybe not eminent domain, but
look, there's a lot of power.
But pushing and pulling. Yeah. What are the levers of power that you have?
Even now under Eric Adams, the city has the authority to take over a building that is owned by a landlord who's been operating in violation to city code. He doesn't use that power. They don't use those tools. But that is absolutely an existing program that's existed even for prior administrations. And that is something we would use. We would increase fines for dangerous conditions. We would increase them for immediately hazardous ones. And if you're a landlord who isn't abiding by that, we would take that building and give it back to the tenants who are currently living through those conditions.
Okay, walk me through this. I call my landlord. I'm like, the microwave is not working. Landlord says, I'll fix it. Doesn't fix it for a month. Eminent domain. Yes or no?
No, that's not how it works.
Shit.
Because first of all, most New Yorkers don't even have their landlord sell.
Okay.
A lot of New Yorkers live in buildings that are owned by LLCs. They have no idea who owns the building.
Even better. I call up the apartment property manager and they don't fix it. Okay. I come in, I say, hey, this electric circuit is broken.
Yeah.
They come in and they just paint white over it. They say it's not a circuit anymore. That's just the wall. Eminent domain. Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
But here's how it works.
I'm gonna keep testing the waters.
Here's how it works. Here's how it works. You have a system right now where you call 311, right, in New York City. Most New Yorkers who've ever called 311 have had a pretty frustrating experience with it. We are proposing a world-class brand new innovation where you can make appointments with investigators so that you know when they're actually coming home.
Seems radical.
Seems pretty radical. Seems
Yeah.
pretty crazy, but you heard it here first. You're actually going to know when an investigator comes by. And what we will track is if a landlord is found in violation to the code and they are not following up on those violations, they're not rectifying it, then there will be a time at which the city will take over that building.
Okay. I like that. So there is a takeover happening eventually if they're serial violators.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm a fan of that.
It's not going to be for the microwave, but
Yeah. No, it's fine. That's just a random experience. I don't know. I'm just bringing that up. Okay, so housing is obviously a major issue. Let's talk about public transit. I'm a little bit autistic. I'm an enjoyer of public transit. I haven't been able to enjoy it here because I'm streaming, so there's no Wi-Fi down there.
what about the bus?
Yeah, well, like I said, I've been here for a limited time. So what are your suggestions for improvement? Where are the areas of need for public transit in New York?
I would say the areas are around affordability, reliability, accessibility. Those are some of the major areas, and generally the sense that
How many more cops are we getting in the MTA?
We are not getting more cops.
I lied. I said I was a single issue voter. I'm a double issue voter.
Look, I think what New Yorkers deserve is to be safe, and for too long we've had so-called leaders who've told them the same proposals they've been given year after year, only to end up with the same results. And for safety, we've put together a proposal to create a Department of Community Safety, the DCS, which would protect New Yorkers like never before, and it would do it in ways that we've already seen be proven successful. Things like dedicated outreach teams placed on 100 different subway stations, the ones that have the highest levels of mental health crises, homelessness.
Are they going to play Candy Crush?
They're not going to play Candy Crush.
Okay, well, I feel like that's been working so far. It's been very effective.
They are not going to be playing Candy Crush.
Okay.
And this is going to be paired with, if you grew up in New York City, there are a lot of commercial units that you remember in subway stations. Like, I grew up in New York City. I moved here when I was 7 years old. I first lived in Morningside Heights. I would take the 1 train down to 96, then take the 2 train down to Times Square. I'd walk up the stairs, down the stairs. There would always be a record store that was selling CDs, headphones. That's at Times Square. That's gone now. It's just a vacant commercial unit. So as part of this proposal, we're going to transform that unit, make it a place where you can receive medical care, connections to long-term care, and in tandem with all those things, invest in transit ambassadors, because a lot of people, the help that they want in the moment is just somebody who can answer a question that they have. What's the delay that they're facing on the subway line that they're trying to take? How can they actually get out? What escalator is working? What elevator is working? This is something that they deserve someone to actually answer those questions who's trained and tasked with those exact responsibilities.
He won't be playing Candy Crush.
No, they will not.
No one is playing
Candy
Crush. I'm confused because I feel like
Crush.
that's what the government, that's what public services are supposed to do at the subway stations with guns. But I guess, are they going to have guns?
These are not going to have guns.
Damn it. Okay.
But just to your question about public transit, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I love most about being a New Yorker is public transit. That we can get around this city on a bus.
One of the only cities that has well, there's some, but this is the one that has the most.
I mean, 40% of public transit trips in America are from the MTA.
Yeah.
40%. It's all right here across these 5 boroughs and surrounding counties. And yet we see a lot of New Yorkers being priced out of that. 1 in 5 can't afford a Metro card today. And they're also, if they can afford it, they're sitting on that platform waiting for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And if they're waiting for a bus, I mean, you look at a bus time app on your phone, it says the bus is going to be there in 20 minutes. Sometimes it just never even appears. So these are things that don't actually have to be this way. That's what we're going to do when we make buses fast and free.
How do you reinstill confidence in even local government like that? Because I feel like this is a major hurdle to clear for anyone that is even remotely to the left of, I guess, Donald Trump. When you talk about the government doing something, the government doing right by you, I feel like especially accelerated since the Reagan era, there's this attitude from the average American that there's not really anything that these guys are doing for us. Do you have an attitude? Is it just, show your work and hopefully people eventually believe that the subway stations are going to be clean and the buses are going to run on time?
I think you have to show your work. You have to actually deliver it, because the reason people don't believe in government is that they haven't seen it actually impact their lives in a positive way in a long time. And there's one recent example we have in congestion pricing, which was a program that was said to, once implemented, would decrease congestion, would increase bus speeds, would reduce emissions, would raise money for the MTA. And just at the point at which it was about to be implemented, it was at a very low level of popularity, which is the same thing that happened with similar schemes in Stockholm and London. But once it came into effect, you had people who were previously in opposition starting to support it because they could actually experience those tangible benefits. Now, I think that kind of program still needs to be paired with more immediate investments in public transit service, and that's what I've been fighting for in Albany as a state legislator.
So you don't want the bridge and tunnel crowd around these parts. That's what I'm getting. I'm kidding.
Room for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. One thing that I feel like you do differently than a lot of other politicians is you talk about the underlying reasons as to why crime persists. When you talk about homelessness, you understand that a big part of that is housing. As a matter of fact, the major role that it plays in accelerating homelessness. When talking about crime, your initiatives focus on also solving the underlying material inequalities where crime manifests. What are some of the initiatives that you want to take in that regard? In terms of like, you've suggested cooperative grocery stores, for example.
Yeah, I mean, we are living in a city where so many New Yorkers are being priced out of produce. And it doesn't matter how much they earn, they feel this sticker shock when they go to the grocery store. And we have that in tandem with food deserts, which are something that disproportionately impacts Black and Latino New Yorkers. I represent Queensbridge Houses, the largest public housing development in North America. And when I speak to my constituents at Queensbridge, I'm asked this question: why is it that there are 6 fast food restaurants in a 5-block radius, but the only place I can buy produce is clearly old and outdated and not the kind of food that is fit for my family to eat? And I don't have an answer to that. And this is now starting to answer that question, which is that if it can work in Kansas, if a feasibility study in Chicago found this to be doable, why in New York City are we allowing people to be priced out of bread and milk and eggs when we can actually guarantee cheaper prices, especially at a time when we're seeing these prices skyrocket even more thanks to Donald Trump's economic policies?
Yeah. What about Twinkies? Are they going to still have Twinkies at the cooperative grocery stores?
Yeah, thanks to you now, we can say there are going to be some Twinkies.
I lied. I'm a triple issue voter. Not even a single issue.
By the end of today, we got 10.
Okay.
10 issues coming out.
All right, so Twinkies in the cooperative grocery stores. How does that structure work?
The Twinkies in the cooperative?
No. Just
okay. It's like,
sometimes I'm
brother.
joking. Sometimes I'm being serious. How does the cooperative grocery structure work?
So what it
Those
would,
of you,
so
those
let's
of you at home that might not be familiar.
So the idea of a municipal-owned grocery store, our proposal is a pilot of 1 in each borough that would be city-run, that would guarantee cheaper groceries in a few ways. The first is that it would not have to pay rent or property taxes as a city-owned institution, pass those savings directly on to the customer. The second is that it would not be mandated to have to make a profit in these moments. We've seen that in Kansas it is profitable, but also there are times where you will see the avian flu is jacking up the cost of eggs to a level that New Yorkers can't even afford. It is possible for us to absorb some of those costs to ensure that people can actually buy the eggs that they need. And additionally, we would purchase at wholesale prices and then pass that on to New Yorkers. Now, this is a pilot program that would cost $60 million, which sounds like a substantial amount of money. Maybe
Not for New York.
Not for New York City.
Yeah.
I would compare it to the more than 100.
It's like one New York Police Department submarine. It's the submarine upkeep. For 1 year, just you're not using the sub.
Allegedly.
Is that alleged? I thought they had one.
I'm leaving that to you. That's your number 4 policy platform.
Okay. I want to see the submarine. That's my 4th policy.
But right now, we're already set to spend $140 million subsidizing corporate grocery stores. It's a program in the city called City Fresh. They don't guarantee cheaper prices. They don't guarantee a unionized workforce. They are not required to accept SNAP or WIC, and they've been shown no impact on actual pricing.
They don't even have SNAP?
They don't have to accept it.
They don't have to accept it? That's
and
crazy.
so we would spend less than half of that money on guaranteeing the whole kinds of needs that New Yorkers have that are currently not being met by this program.
And there would be workers at these locations as well?
A unionized workforce.
So unionized workforce?
Yeah. And this would be a pilot program, start with 1 in each borough. And what we're already hearing from New Yorkers is that they can't wait for this because, as we've seen in a poll, it is a majority of New Yorkers who want this, and I think even a majority of Republicans.
Yeah, I saw the Data for Progress poll that you recently posted. It said, what was it, 60% of Republicans, I think even, or a majority of Republicans were on board with it. Seems like a good idea. Okay. What are some of the other problems in terms of because like New Yorkers, from what I understand, and I was talking to Chi earlier about this, they are, I guess, more moderate in some senses than what the rest of the country would perceive them as. And there are concerns about safety in general in New York. Now, some of that is because of the hyper focus of the media places on crime, and it makes people think like apps like Nextdoor and the constant crime is happening all around us does have a tendency to cause people to hyperfixate on it. But beyond that, there are issues of crime in this city as well, and obviously outside of safety in public transit or outside of offering food at a subsidized or cheaper cost, more affordable food, and housing issues. What are some of the other areas where you can tackle crime and explain to New Yorkers that you have their back in terms of safety?
This is absolutely a major priority for New Yorkers. And what our Department of Community Safety would do is not only tackle the mental health crisis, but also hate violence, gun violence epidemic, victim services, and ensure that we are also taking on homelessness. And the thing that's so exciting about this is some of this is built off of programs that have been successful elsewhere in the country, places like Denver, Eugene, Olympia. Some of it's also based on what's been successful in New York City. I mean, gun violence, when you treat it as a public health epidemic.
Stop and frisk.
Right?
We're bringing it back.
No, we're not bringing it back.
Eric Adams brought it back.
No.
I misunderstood.
We are not bringing back stop and frisk, to be very clear. What we are going to scale up are programs that have been shown to be effective at reducing gun violence. These are programs that exist in a number of precincts across New York City, but for some reason they've not been expanded to all of them. Another example I would give you, right? It's a cure violence approach. This is an approach that invests in gun violence interrupters, people who are actually located within the communities that have been racked with gun violence and who understand that it's not as simple as just putting another police officer on the corner to deal with this kind of an issue, when in fact it's more effectively responded to through these kinds of means. But we have more than 70 police precincts in New York City. These programs are only instituted at less than 30 of them. Mm-hmm. This is something that every New Yorker should benefit from. And
it's good for the cops. They can just sit around and play Candy Crush in their cop cars this time.
No.
As opposed to
the police
stopping and frisking random people.
The police's responsibility will be major categories of crime. And that is a place where I've also heard from New Yorkers who are saying they're not feeling safe, that they're also troubled by the fact that there are very low clearance rates in a lot of these major categories. And that's where the focus should be while investing in proven strategies that can actually take on these root causes.
Under the Zohran leadership,
hit it.
The New York City police departments, when there's a crime happening, they have to respond, and they actually have to improve their clearance rates. What you're saying? So let's say, I don't know, my car got stolen. Mm-hmm. I call the cops. They don't pick up the phone. I call again. They pick up the phone. And I tell them my car is stolen, they're like, all right, file some paperwork. What the fuck do you want me to do about it? Then they don't actually even seek it out. I find the car myself personally, and then I retrieve it. Under your leadership, that's not happening. They're actually going to, solve crimes?
Yeah, under my leadership.
Whatever they do, I don't know what they do.
Like right now, I'll give you an example right now. You have the NYPD receiving more than 200 mental health calls in a day. We know that the NYPD are not the best responders to these crises, whether in the fact that not in the way that they've been trained, and also when you hear from NYPD officers, this is not an interest that they have as to fulfilling. I sat down with a family of a New Yorker named Win Rosario, who is a Bangladeshi New Yorker who called 911 because he was experiencing a mental health crisis. And police officers came to his house who had been trained to deal with mental health crises and killed him within 3 minutes. That's the current system that we have. It is one that is not serving any New Yorker. And under my administration, we would have actually proven strategies in dealing with the crises that are affecting so many New Yorkers' lives and having the police play a critical role in major categories of crimes, not in the ones that they've been tasked with.
Okay, so fare hoppers, we're not beating them up?
No.
That seems like an important role
and I think,
for the New York Police Department.
When we talk about fare evasion, the MTA did its own blue ribbon panel study that found the greatest correlation between a level of fare evasion in a neighborhood is the level of poverty in that neighborhood.
That's shocking.
Shocking.
So the poorer you are, the more likely you are to
you heard it here
be
first.
able to pay for this critical thing that you need to okay.
And so one of the most effective...
I thought it was selfishness.
One of the most effective ways to deal with this is when we make buses free.
Yeah.
When we actually make it accessible for every New Yorker. And more than 1 million New Yorkers ride buses every day. Why don't we actually give them back their right, which is to get around the city? And make sure...
Who will grind harder if the buses are free? Have you thought about that?
This is a question that keeps me up at night.
Yeah. Because it feels like there would be too much commerce in that case. And the poor business owners would have to work way harder if there's more people, more foot traffic coming in through their businesses. It seems very careless. It seems very thoughtless. A moral hazard, if you will.
Yeah. I hear you. I see you.
Yeah. Yeah, what about the real estate developers? Let's talk about the unheard minority, the marginalized. People of wealth, POWs. I feel like they're getting a hard bargain here with you. Do you have anything to say to them?
You know, to all my landlords on the stream, how many landlords do you have?
All of them.
Yeah,
They're all watching.
Shout out to all the boys.
They're
at
hate
home.
watching.
Yeah, shout out to all the boys at home.
The real workers.
Yeah, they don't like me very much, and I understand why. Because these are policies that would stop their ability to extract wealth from working class New Yorkers at the levels that they've been enjoying for years. And ultimately, we're talking about a rent freeze, right? They are still collecting rent from New Yorkers.
I think Matt Iglesias had a stroke somewhere. He's not even watching. He just heard that concept be addressed on a live stream and he had a little baby stroke.
But I think there are a lot of people who've made a lot of money in the last few years. And those are people who went all in on Eric Adams. And now they're going all in on Andrew Cuomo. Because they know that if they go for the most corrupt possible leadership, they protect their bottom lines in a way that they have never seen before. And they know that if they actually opt for honest leadership, then it's going to be having to factor in, basic things like dignity for working class New Yorkers when they're figuring out their policies.
How much of the counterterrorism unit would you use on college students that annoy me? Personally.
I would not be. And I was proud to be the first mayoral candidate, and I think the only one.
Like not even a little bit?
Not even a little bit.
What if they hurt my feelings?
I'm sorry.
What if they hurt an apartheid state's feelings? Like a hypothetical one.
Look, this is the job of a New York City mayor is to keep New Yorkers safe.
Is to use counterterrorism unit against Columbia students?
No, it's to keep New Yorkers safe. And that's why I said I would not have sent the NYPD onto Columbia's campus or CUNY's campus, because so much of the justification for it was around safety. And that decision made students the least safe they had been in one police officer discharging their weapon in the course of being on that campus.
Cops do that when they're under stress.
Yeah.
It's a natural reaction.
Look, I think then you make a decision when you send a militarized police force onto a campus. You open yourself up to all of these possibilities. That's not any single one that a New Yorker should have to experience. And multiple kids were hospitalized because of this.
Yeah. Because, they used flashbang and I believe tear gas as well for crowd dispersal, which is incendiary and it can kill you. And it has. Cops have killed babies in cribs in the past when they've used flashbang grenades like that. Probably not the best idea. Okay, you would have, you'd be in command of one of the largest standing militaries on the planet. What kind of parades would they do on the streets of New York?
That is the lowest priority.
Okay.
Is figuring out the parade schedule.
You're not giving me anything.
I know.
I'm
sorry, Javier.
Like not even a little bit.
I can't know. What parades do you want?
Put the submarine on a truck and then parade it along.
If that were to happen, would you take the bus with me?
Yes, 100%. And this way, cops would get to walk a little bit, and that's probably the first time they will ever do any physical activity, and therefore they can be more in shape.
I think the focus will be on keeping New Yorkers safe, and I don't think parades really have to be up there with that.
So you don't like parades? Gay Pride Parade.
Support.
Almost got you.
Support.
I'm trying to get a gotcha out of you.
Not gonna work on me.
Okay, so the Gay Pride Parades you're on board with, but no cop parade.
No,
They're pretty gay. What about gay cops? They can do a parade?
There are gonna be a lot of parades, but it's going to be after we keep New Yorkers safe.
Okay. They're going to do a parade, but no submarines. All right. Do you want to bring out the donuts, by the way?
I'm just staring at my attack ads in the face.
Oh, you got the donuts right there?
Take a look at the guys that are going to be spent multi-million-dollar opposition pieces on. Thank you, man.
What do we got here, Ali?
These are Fairney donuts. Caramel custard, rosewater glaze, pistachios on top.
Three? You brought three for each. Well, so what are we doing?
This is abundance.
Not all for you.
Are we gonna try to see who can eat it faster?
No, please.
All three. Do you work out?
Not for everybody.
Do you work out?
Not really.
No.
No.
How do you stay in shape then?
Oh, come on.
Can
you say that to the camera?
No, you're in great shape. I'm not glazing. I'm serious.
But if we were glazing, we'd be making these Fairney donuts.
Yeah.
Because they're glazed.
They're glazed.
Shut up.
All right, I'm going to try one. Oh, my God. This looks great. Cheers.
There we go. To two guys who work out allegedly.
Oh. That was bomb.
It's fire.
Oh, hell yeah. There's a little bit of, is there rose water in it too?
Rose water, yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
It's too good.
Hold on.
Could I bother you for some water?
No, no, of course.
Here, you want this?
Yeah.
I haven't used it.
We can, come on. Socialism.
That's a scary word.
Socialism?
Yeah. So you're a socialist? What does that
Democratic socialist, baby.
mean? What does that mean?
First of all, I'm a member of New York City DSA. If that interests you, socialist.nyc/join. Second of all, I define it using the words of others of extending democracy from the ballot box to people's lives, of making sure that everybody has what they need to live a dignified life. And that may also now include Fearney Donuts.
Okay. So we're putting Ali to work. He is making these for every New Yorker.
That's
Okay.
Are you committed?
Absolutely.
All right. Why do you think it's such a scary word? Is it a scary word in New York?
Yeah. Look, I mean, I'm a Muslim democratic socialist. I'm used to really bad PR and people being very scared.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know about that a little bit.
I think it's scary because people have been taught to fear the word, the idea, and also generally the notion that people deserve dignity, that they don't have to earn it every single day. Because to believe that would call into question how we're forced to spend much of our lives, which is on a hamster wheel fighting for the most basic necessities.
Yeah. Meritocracy. Obviously real. Mm-hmm. Elon Musk worked the hardest and the smartest. Mm-hmm. Why do you hate the successful, wealthy people like Elon Musk, who clearly have worked very hard?
You know, first
to earn $300 billion.
If we want to credit Elon Musk, we got to also credit some of his greatest assistants in the game. Andrew Cuomo being one of them, who gave Elon Musk about $1 billion in a public subsidy for Tesla many years ago, before Donald Trump even got on the Elon Musk train. And I think that's what's so frustrating about so many of these figures is they masquerade as being.
What did he do with $1 billion of subsidy?
We're still trying to figure it out.
Wait, so what is
This was a subsidy plan to allegedly create jobs, especially in Buffalo, and this was what passed for climate policy under Andrew Cuomo.
Did Elon Musk create jobs in Buffalo?
Not at the level that was promised. And that's a pretty standard Elon Musk story.
Seems like a pretty standard Andrew Cuomo story
Yeah.
as well. Who else? Okay, don't dab me up.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
That's
an interesting idea.
I'm an impartial person,
I'm really
and I'm
interested
doing
in- yeah.
contentious adversarial journalism.
Can
right
you
now.
back off? Can you back
Yeah.
off with that question?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Okay, so.
No daps.
Andrew Cuomo, not a good guy. Why do you have a problem with Italians?
No, I love Italians.
Be honest.
I think that Indians are the Italians of Asia.
I don't even know what that means, but okay.
Do you not feel that?
I don't know where to go with that one, so I'm just okay. Yes,
Okay. All right.
I agree. I've always said that. Indians are the Italians of Asia.
And Italians are the Indians of Europe.
Okay.
I don't think there's another way I can go with it, but I think those are the two flips.
What about Turkish people?
I love them.
What are they what ethnicity can we compare them to?
I'm going to just leave it here.
This is the most Eric Adams coda thing you've ever said, by the way. Italians are the Indians of Europe is the most Eric Adams statement.
What is act like a mayor if you want to be a mayor.
What is New York City, the city that that reminds you of other cities?
I think, how many cities did he do that with?
I think every single one.
He hit it like 100 different ones.
Yeah.
He hit Islamabad, Zagreb.
Yeah.
He ran out of cities.
Eric Adams does not live in the city, from what I understand.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident he lived in New Jersey for his run for the mayor.
Yuck.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I live there too. It's awful.
You live in New Jersey?
No, I lived in New Jersey. I went to
bro, you should run for mayor in New York City.
Yeah, it was. There's only one Muslim socialist running for New York mayor. There's not enough space. For both of us.
There's room.
There's not enough room for both of us
Abundance
here.
mindset.
Yeah. Okay, so you keep bringing up abundance mindset. What do you think about the abundance mindset?
Well,
I mean, you keep bringing it up.
I did this. I did this to myself.
Yeah.
Why did I keep saying this? Look, I think the natural.
Say something nice about Ezra Klein and then something mean about him.
Okay, here we go. The thing that I would say is nice about Ezra Klein is I very much appreciated him being willing to bring up what a lot of Americans saw with regards to Joe Biden and the campaign's ability to actually win that race. And it wasn't easy, it wasn't popular. And
Yeah, nobody canceled him for that. That's weird.
yeah,
Everybody yelled at me. Everyone was like, "You're ageist." He's brilliant. He has really good policies, and his brain is fine. That's what they kept saying.
about Ezra Klein?
No, about Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
When I said it, but then when Ezra Klein says it, everyone's like, "Oh, you're brilliant. I love abundance." Anyway, okay, so that's
but when he first said it, he got a lot of heat
yeah,
because he was breaking from, the stated
mainstream
answer.
position.
I actually think that there's room for kind of a through line between the abundance mindset and what it means to be a democratic socialist, in that one of the greatest obstacles we face is the existing inefficiencies, inadequacies of the public sector. And if we want to get people to trust in the public sector, we have to deliver outcomes that they haven't seen. I mean, if you think about the subway, which we love, Andrew Cuomo built the most expensive subway mile in the world. And he did it by spending more money on consultants than
Swag.
construction. Yeah, swag is how I was going to
Okay.
define it. Yeah. But I mean, this is also an issue where we've taken away public sector capacity to the extent where we're unable to build anything. And we're relying on McKinsey to tell us how to even build a trash can. And what that has left us with is these
What
projects.
will Pete Buttigieg do if you don't rely on McKinsey and consulting firms like that?
I
the
think,
next Pete Buttigieg is working right now, and you're hurting his feelings.
I think that what we need to do is make sure that capacity is internal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a capacity that we have lost, whether it's building bike lanes or bus lanes, whether it's building the subways. And that's something we need to bring back. And that's something that there really is a choice between Andrew Cuomo taking us back to those days of consulting or building a future we can build it ourselves.
Okay, suggestion.
Hit it.
No more buses. We only have those horse carts because they're very cool. There's going to be a lot of poop, unfortunately. What do you think? Horse carts, no more cars at all, just horse carts.
I'm going to go on a strong no
Okay.
on this one. We're going to diverge.
But
different
horses are
paths.
very cool. They're like big dogs.
Shout out to my big dogs.
Yeah.
Inside every one of you is
Is a big dog.
a big dog and
horse.
maybe a horse
Yeah.
and two wolves.
That's how I feel.
yeah. Which
Thank
one?
you. Horse. Big horse. And a wolf.
Okay.
Okay, so
I don't know if you guys have sound effects.
None of the no horses, no horse race. All right. What about the bike guys? A lot of them are Turkish. This would be huge for the Turkish economy in New York. They do. It's like it seems like it's just three professions if you're Turkish in New York or just universally is barbershop,
Awesome. Shout
kebab,
outs.
yeah, kebab, guys who do the bikes, who charge you a lot of money. But if you speak Turkish to them, they will charge you
When you
less
say do the
money.
bikes, do you mean get on the bikes in the back and like sightsee, or you mean like deliver food, or you mean
No. They get on a bike and then you can sit in the back of the bike.
Okay, yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
yeah,
like
yeah.
take you to different
Like
places.
Central
They got-
Park- Central Park
They got
guys,
lights
yeah.
in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't seem like a very efficient mode of transportation, but carbon emissions pretty good.
sometimes the journey
Yeah.
is the trip.
Yeah,
Is that the phrase? I don't think
I
that's
don't
the phrase.
know.
No, it's like
it's not the journey; it's the destination.
No, I'm saying it's the other way.
Or it's not the destination; it's the journey. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to say it. Okay, ask him to rank his favorite Sex and the City characters.
Miranda.
Okay.
All time Miranda.
Okay, it seems a little bit. You're a little bit biased, I think.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Cynthia Nixon.
She endorsed you, I believe, right?
She's supportive, but I think
Yeah.
even more than that is she had the courage to take on Andrew Cuomo when a lot of people didn't. Right, this is back in 2018.
Yeah.
And he was running our subways into the ground. And she stood up and she said, we're going to tax the rich to fix the subways. And that there could actually be a different style of politics. To the extent that Andrew Cuomo had to adopt a lot of her own policies to get reelected.
Yeah.
So what other Sex and the City character has done that?
I don't really remember any of the characters. I'm just reading
Politicians,
questions.
look at you copping out. He's
I'm just
lying.
reading from the chat. No, I have watched it. I just don't remember any of the characters. I'm just reading chat right now to see what they want to ask. Chat, if you have any questions, put it in the chat.
I have a question.
Hit it.
Okay.
Shout out to my fellow Casio brother.
Enunciate. They can hear you. Okay. So, well, it's famously, I feel like New York City mayor is maybe the worst job in American politics. I'm sure you know this.
I've heard it described that way.
Yeah, okay. So part of the reason for that, as you know, is because it's incredibly, I mean, the mayor is often kneecapped, right? So if you're walking into this office, right, how do you